Okay, the video coming up is the fixing of a odometer on a Chevy C20 truck built in 1977. Unfortunately, because of some of the settings, the video quality isn't too good. However, I believe that the video has some good information that would help people fix their dash. It's mainly with the use of CRC, just lubricating all of the mechanical parts, and that's how the odometer was fixed, just by putting some lubricating oil on the numbers area and the gear areas and all around the back of the odometer. So I've decided to put this video up. It's probably going to be in two parts. The second parts will be better quality. So I hope you found this video interesting or entertaining. Please like and subscribe. For my record keeping, I really need a odometer, and so I'm going to look into that now. In an earlier video I replaced the lower speedo cable. The speedo is working, but the odometer is not, so we'll look into that now. There's some screws along the top, and the ones in the bottom are missing, so I'll try and chase that up. Might try being a little bit more gentle, because this would be a fairly old piece of plastic, and plastic gets hot inside a car and it starts to crack. I thought this dash would be two parts, so I was expecting, you know, this part here to be one part and the bottom would be separate, but at this stage I think it's all one part. So it looks like it's one part. However, this is separate underneath the steering column. So I'll just have to remove that panel first, I think. Okay, so that's underneath the steering column. That's metal. Got those clip-on threads, and over the top of that there's a type of dressing that goes around the column itself. You want to be careful with these parts because they're actually very expensive to purchase. Okay, at this point it's all loose. The only thing that's really holding it is the radio, so I might remove the front. So that's just, I don't think it works anymore. These ones usually fail pretty quick, so it's probably something there holding it. See there that it pulls the radio out. There's one, so it's still connected. Okay, so that was just sort of bound around the radio, so that's all that was. Next obstacle is this the vent, the back of the vent there. So that's got to be brought forward and out of there, and should all just come off. Okay, so this dash cover does have some flex to it, and I was able to get that vent out, and that slots into, you may be able to see it back there, that's the vent itself. Okay, so this stage should just be an easy case of just removing it out, and that's the stock standard one, and I'll be keeping that. That's the back of it there, and it's silver in colour. The numbers I've got is 347220. that's 347220, and other numbers are 75-358. Capital letters, I've got D, P, N for Nelly, C. Okay, it's got a see-through plastic cover, and that goes along there and around there, back along the top here, goes down, up and along there. There's 6 screws, so 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, 6. So they can just be undone by hand and retightened by hand. This one's a bit more stubborn, so I just use these things. So I'm actually using a swivel socket, so if you're going to attempt this work, you'd be well advised to get one on the other side. One of the screws had gone in a little bit on an angle, and this was great for that. Okay, this plastic cover's located on some pins or notches, or line-up pins. So it should just come straight off them, but you want to be careful with this cover. Okay, the cover's a little bit worn and it's not as clear as it once was, I suppose. I've got a number of 6497473-3, 6497473-3. Apparently you use window cleaner on this to clean it, and you don't use paper or towel, you use cloth. Okay, the next obstacle is the column shift indicator. That's held on by 2 screws, the same that held on the Perspex clear cover. And there's one there and one on the other side just there. Okay, I undid the column shift dial a little bit, and eventually it just worked free, and there it is. So there's the back of it, some type of rust coating, and there's no numbers on it, it's just what it is. So there's a look at the instrument cluster of a 1977 C20. So these dials are different exterior shapes. They're not all rounded, they're just purposely designed to fit in. They're attached with two screw-in nuts. Okay, so there's the speedo, and as I was saying, the odometer doesn't work. All the fronts are off these gauges now. You can touch the gauge and you can touch the needle, and even my clock worked there for a few seconds. Okay, so we can see indicator. When I turn on the lights, we've actually got 1, 2, and there's one down there. Here's 3. That one there doesn't work, so I'll have to replace that one. Okay, this is fairly intelligent or genius type design. You've got 2 holders there, and that's it. The whole thing pops out. That's your leads, or your connections. There's one missing there because it's just using probably a positive and a ground. Give you a look at the back of it. It's just a thread type setup. The thread's sticking out, and they simply slot into the those holders, connections, and that's it. You can see it's at 12 volts. If I take it out, it drops to nothing, so it's you know, well thought out, well done. I found that when I put this one back in, if I moved it, it would come on. So I'm going to try a new one and see how it goes. Okay, there we go, great. So all of them work. Yay. Okay, I'll have a go at the clock now. I'll undo it and clean out the connections. Okay, the clock's different. It's got connections on the back. So I'll see what I can do there. I can get the hands to move by bringing out this pin, but it seems to be seized up in there. Okay, so that's the back of it there, and I've got some penetrating oil. I've sprayed in that hole there, and hopefully I don't have to buy a new one. And there it goes. It's working. Fantastic. That's strange. It's actually still working when it's unplugged. So that's supposed to be plugged in there, and still going. So it's very, very happy indeed. Okay, so that's out, and there's the numbers for the odometer there. Down the bottom there's gears, and that round metal part there, that seems to work on centrifugal force. So the speedo cable goes in there. You can see a white plastic gear there on the left. I've got to try and rig up something to spin the back just to see if it works, or whatever the problem is. Okay, so I was thinking good when I saved this cable. This is the broken speedo cable. You can see there that the end was twisted. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just cut off a bit of this. I'll put it in the back, and I'll test it and try and work out why the odometer isn't working. That'll be tomorrow, because it's starting to get late.